have a high level of trust with him, right? I'm very comfortable like just giving him money and telling him, listen, invest that for me, I trust you. So I'm Sarmad, I work in marketing and I use Mahmoud as my realtor, right? And the reason I use Mahmoud as my realtor is because he has deep and genuine knowledge of the real estate market, right? And I genuinely mean that. I have quite a few real estate transactions and I've thought of getting my own license, so I stopped using realtors fully. And I'm like, this is based on my interactions with realtors where like they get their license, it's like a 9-month process, and then like they don't really know much, or like they can take you from house to house, but there's no real knowledge there. But when I worked with Mahmoud, or when I started to get to know Mahmoud, I realized that this person's worked in real estate for over 10 years. Initially as part of a large firm where it was his role to make these transactions happen. So he's seen, like, I'm not overestimating, but I think he's seen thousands of real estate transactions across the entire market. And that depth of knowledge is amazing. So every time like I talk to him about a project I'm interested in, or I talk to him about like an idea or a strategy in real estate, he knows it inside out. He's seen multiple transactions, he's seen how it occurred, he's seen how it happens, and he gives me advice based on that. So like, oh, there's a project here on like, you know, Highway 7 and Jane. He's like, oh, I've worked with these builders are like this, I like that. This is how you approach them. This is how you get a deal. He knows someone who's connected to that building. He knows how to get me a deal. And that knowledge is like invaluable. And that's what made me and led me to use Mahmoud on a regular basis. The other reason I use Mahmoud is I have a high level of trust with him, right? I'm very comfortable like just giving him money and telling him, listen, invest that for me, I trust you. I don't even need to think about it. He'll do the accounting for me. He'll make sure he invests it based on my portfolio. He over communicates and he tells me what he's doing. And then a lot of the time, he puts his money where his mouth is. So his family is also investing in the similar things that he's recommending I invest in, right? And that just gives me peace of mind that I know my investment or the decision I'm making is actually backed up by like him putting kind of skin in the game. A particular transaction like that really solidified Mahmoud's expertise, and the reason why I used him is when I was looking to invest in a project or a property, and then he suggested I invest in industrial real estate. And I was like really confused. I know nothing about industrial real estate. I don't know why it works. I don't know what's going on. Like why industrial? When I sat down to Mahmoud, he just literally sat down, he opened his laptop, and there are like dozens of charts. And he showed me, look, Sarmad, the amount of industrial units there are is declining significantly, and the amount of industrial units people need is increasing significantly. So this creates an opportunity that no one else is noticing. A lot of people who are investing in real estate are investing in residential real estate, while in industrial, people don't know and people don't understand how it works. So he's like, listen, Sarmad, invest in industrial, this is how it works. I was like, oh wow, like this is incredible. It was a very convincing argument. I bought it with him. And then in that same transaction, Mahmoud knew the builders, and it's very underestimated in the space, like with realtors, like they just go to a builder and they do a transaction. So with Mahmoud, when he knew the builders, he was able to guide me to get, like, for example, the corner units or the most valuable units with a drive-through. He was able to negotiate with them to like allow me some leeway when I was like, hey, listen, like my checks are a little bit delayed. Do you mind delaying it here? And like the access and the ability to access the builders was incredible. So he got me this project, he got me this deal, and he got me access to it, and he showed me all the charts, and I was very comfortable and confident investing in it, especially because his family was also investing in it. So I know Mahmoud is giving his genuine and best advice here. And that's why, and that led me to like really understand Mahmoud's depth of knowledge, and it got me to trust him for all my real estate transactions going forward. To be honest with you guys, I'm very analytical minded. I will not use someone like Mahmoud or any real estate agent unless they're going to benefit and serve my interests, right? I have a belief in myself that I can get things done. I can like do those transactions, do the research myself. And I was like incredibly correct with all the other realtors I worked with. But once I came to Mahmoud, I was like, wow, this person is incredibly knowledgeable in a way that I have not seen any other real estate agents. You know, he spent like over 10, 12 years in the industry, working inside the inside out. And then that led me to be like, okay, this person knows what he's doing, right? If he didn't know what he was doing, or if I believe I can do things better myself, I'll just literally cut off Mahmoud. But so far, And up to today, like, I'm incredibly confident in his abilities to deliver, in his ability to make promises and deliver on them, in his like access to the builders, access to projects, in his analytical framework. He knows where to invest in and when to invest in it and how to invest in it, right? And even like the tiny details, Mahmoud's incredibly good at. So he's done hundreds, maybe even thousands of real estate transactions, so he knows all the legalities of everything. So every time like there's a little problem that I popped into, like, hey Mahmoud, with this builder, I'm not comfortable giving my check because of X, Y, and Z, because of this clause in this contract and that clause, therefore we're gonna go to the builder and negotiate like this, and he got me something even better, right? And I was like really impressed with him from that perspective. So all those like put together, and the trust element is what gives me incredible confidence in using Mahmoud, and I highly recommend him for everyone who's kind of watching this video, and even to my friends and family. I've always recommended they use him and they go through him because he's incredible what he does, he has incredible knowledge, and he will care about your interests above everything else.